Another day. So we're assembling the engine. We're gonna pick up right where we left off, and let me show you what I have done thus far. Okay, typical SR stuff. So I already went ahead and I threw in some new rod bearings. Main bearings look good. This time I'm going to be using the King Racing, I think it's the XF or XP series. There's some black bearings, hopefully. I had some OE. Oh, well, let me show you guys. My water pump in the background. Messing about. So these are basically the bearings I took off here. So this is 1, 2, 3. The brown you've seen is just oil. 4. So this is number 4, the one I was expecting to be bad, and it's good. So I already went ahead and I tucked down the head on this one, but in doing so, the chain came off. So for you SR guys, this gold link is supposed to line up with this dowel. This popped out in installing the head and was making me see hell to get the timing chain to line up. So what I'm doing now is that I took everything off. I put the stock head back on, but I am not sure. What do you guys think? Well, by the time you guys are gonna see this video, it's already gonna be decision done, but I'm not sure if to put my known good working head or to put the built head. The built head, I have never actually driven the car or known or seen if the head has any issues, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. So they always say if it ain't broke, don't mess with it. So I don't know. I may put on the head and probably take it to the dyno and afterwards put the built head on it to see if there are any gains with the GSC cams and the springs and valves and whatnot, or I may just do the lazy move and then just go ahead and put what I know works. I'm not sure, but just working through it right now. I'm going to install the oil pump and start buttoning up everything. In typical YouTube fashion, it's been a couple of days, so let me just show you the progress we have going on so far. Alright, so I skipped a lot of steps, so I'm not even sure why I stopped recording, but as you can see, the motor is essentially assembled. From what I said, I went ahead and I still reused the SR20DE head. My thing about it is that I just wanted to stick with something that I know works. Well, it's worked fine in the previous iterations of this engine, so I went ahead and I did that. I spec'd the timing properly this time. I took my time, so it's properly timed, all the marks line up. One thing I'm missing is these eBay top mount manifolds. If you can look in there, the 2 nuts that need to go in there, they're almost impossible to tighten, even if the motor out. So struggling with that, and then hopefully I hope to drop this motor in sometime tonight, God willing. I have a tune in a little bit, but sometime tonight I hope to at least drop it in and probably get the engine started and the car driving maybe tomorrow. Yeah, so that's gonna be the quick update. Next up, I'm probably just gonna skip all of that because you guys are tired of seeing me just explaining stuff, so probably just skip into when we drop the motor in and we get it fired up. Whew. Right, so it's been a few days, and again, I will just let the camera do the talking. So yep, our engine is complete. I'm not sure what I said in the previous clip. It's complete and the engine is dropped in. I did that all by myself. I'm proud of myself. Yeah, but all joking aside, it really sucks to drop an engine in by yourself, trying and manipulate the crane and everything, but it's in. For the most part, I have alternator mounts, everything hooked up. The thing I need to do is hook up my harness and my fuel lines and radiator, and should be good to start. For those of you who would notice, I also went ahead and I painted the engine bay. It does not look too good now because again, the car is out in the elements in a very dusty yard and has dust all over it, but this used to be all scratched up and whatnot. Now it's black, it's a gloss black. I'm gonna throw some soap on it or we hose it down when everything is good. Probably gonna wash the engine again because you always get that stuff dirty, and probably give it one last coat of paint so that it sticks. But so far it's looking good, I think. Yeah, so sun is up there right now. It's coming down nice and hot because it's the Caribbean, of course. So I'm gonna call it call it quits for now, and then I'm going to pick up hopefully later this evening when everything is cooler and I can actually stand to work on the car. Right, so stay tuned. Alright, so I'm back at it. The sun is about to set. So let me just give you a rundown of what I've done so far. Alright, so the engine is in. I pretty much buttoned up everything. And what I did also thus far is I took off the spark plugs and coils, and I went ahead and I cranked the motor a little bit with no spark, no fuel, and I also pulled out the fuse for the fuel pump, so just to make sure that the oil is circulating. Topped up everything with coolant. I hooked up the exhaust, and for the most part, if all goes well, this should start. I've primed the fuel pump a couple times to make sure the lines are filled. I'm suspecting I may have a leak here, but I primed it and I could not really get it to leak. That's my main fuel line to the engine, to the rail. So right now I'm just going to replace the spark plugs, and then I am hoping to get it to start first time around. I have my laptop with me. The only thing that I am a bit cautious about is the cast. I forgot to install the cast. I think I put it back on top dead center, so it should work. It should start up. But the last time I struggled with it because it was 180 degrees out. So if it doesn't start, I know it's because the cast is 180 degrees out. But for the most part, I think I have it good. So I'm going to throw the coils back on and hopefully get it to start. Okay, so there goes nothing. See, is still showing that we have low oil pressure, but let's see how it does. Okay. Okay. Let's try that again. My Samsung. Okay, smelling something burning. Let's go and investigate that. Alright, so I could not see anything that was burning. Let's try this again. I wonder if my timing is off. Let's try that one more time. Yep, definitely sounds like the timing is off. Okay, so we have it running. So the timing was really off. I'm not sure why, but I went ahead and I adjusted the trigger angle. So now I'm just allowing it to idle, and I'll check for some leaks, and then I'll go ahead and I'll sync the timing. So right now, sounds good. Let's look at the vitals of the engine. It's got oil pressure and everything. Okay, fuel pressure is good. Oil pressure is really high. I'm not sure. Sensor might be messing around. Let's see. Yeah, okay, it's good. So it's right around 50 degrees. Oil pressure is 55. Where is my mechanical oil? Yeah, so it's matching my mechanical gauge, which is there. Sorry, it's really dark inside of here. Should have prepared better. Vacuum is decent. So far so good. I haven't plugged up my IAT sensor, so I'll do that now. Just gonna allow it to warm up and hopefully sync the time. But for now, I just want to get it warm. Let me hear if that knock is still there. So far it doesn't sound like it. Let's give it a quick rev. Plug up the IAT first, if I can find it. Okay, where are you? Okay, so the cam cover is off, and let me show you why this car has earned its name, Judas. So the car was running, like I said, and it just suddenly stopped, and it sounded like it was down on compression. So let me show you what I found in there. Right on the edge there, this is what looks to be if you look up here, the dowel for the cam. As to how a dowel for a cam would just eject itself, I do not know. And here's what I also found. So I'm spinning the engine, as you can see. And guess what? Intake cam is moving, exhaust cam is not moving. Yes. Apparently what happened is, I'm not sure how, I've never seen this happen to any other engine, but exhaust, the dowel popped out and more than likely bent a couple valves. So the good news is that I do have a spare head if it ends up just being bent valve. More than likely it's a bent valves, because I believe these motors will do that if we ever snap a chain or anything like what happened there tonight. So more than likely bent valve. So I do have another head. It's not that much work, maybe 2-3 hours to swap the head. However, as to why, I do not know. I have no idea. So this is unfiltered. I'm not gonna make up any stories. This is what happened. Actually started, in retrospect, when the timing for the cast, which I know is good, wasn't good, I should have checked it. But again, hindsight is always 20/20, right? So I adjusted the cast to get it to work, but then the problem was actually that this was just free spinning, or maybe spinning and stopping or something. I'm not sure what was causing the time to happen. Maybe at that time it was already free spinning. The cam gears were spinning independently, but I'm not sure. But for now anyways, the pin is in there. More than likely bent a couple valves, so I am going to just go ahead and swap that up. Okay, alright, so yeah, so that's gonna call it. I'm gonna probably end the video right here. Lighting is always very poor when I'm under the house at night anyway, so I'm gonna wrap up everything. Probably gonna go shower and I don't know, formulate a plan. More than like in the morning, just swap it, but it's gonna wrap it up for this video. Alright, so Judas, it's been Judas.